What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Imperial Diecast. Today I'll be reviewing a police car. I think this is the first such review on my channel, cause I normally don't buy cop cars, but this one I thought was in a really good color combo. As you can see on the box, it's a 1975 Dodge Monaco, and it's made by Greenlight in 1/24 scale. Now, Greenlight usually makes movie cars, and it says Hot Pursuit on the left, but I don't think this one's from any movie or TV series going by that name. I think it just refers to what patrol vehicles are designed to do. Now here at the back you can see this is part of a 3-car series, with the other two being a 2001 Crown Vic and a 1978 Plymouth Fury. What they have in common is that all 3 cars are blue, with this Monaco, however, being the only one in dark blue, and to be more specific, in a blue and white two-tone. I tried finding pics of the Kansas Highway Patrol livery from the 1970s, and first came across this 3D render, which does look like what our Greenlight model is based on. But then I also found a real-life pic, so I'd say the livery is accurate. Let's unbox it. The history of the Dodge Monaco is rather long, considering how different the car looked over the years, and rather complicated even just for one generation. See, this is the 1975 Monaco, part of the Gen 3 Monaco that spanned 1974 to 1977. So, we're in the second model year, and there are already some minor changes over the 1974 model, chiefly in the form of this egg crate grille, replacing the horizontal slats of the 1974 grille, which I actually thought looked classier than this one. Now, this is the regular 1975 Monaco. The top-of-the-line model, which used to be known as the Monaco Custom, became known from 1975 onward as the Royal Monaco, and had a different-looking grille and hidden headlamps, kind of like the pop-up headlights of the Gen 2 Monacos from 1972 and 73. And if it came with a vinyl top, it was referred to as the Royal Monaco Brougham. Matter of fact, there is a Royal Monaco in 1/24. It was part of a magazine-based American car collection released in Mexico. I believe it's called Autos Inolvidables, from which I've reviewed the 1/24 Ford Maverick. But unlike the Maverick, that 1/24 Royal Monaco is very hard to get, in the sense that scalpers have gotten hold of the few out there and sell them for really high prices, like $90 or well over $100 depending on the scalper. I mean, screw that, right? Not like this one. This casting from Greenlight is a lot more affordable. I mean, it is a premium-priced 1/24 in the $30 range rather than the $20 1/24s go for, but still nowhere as overpriced as the aforementioned. This Greenlight Monaco casting has in fact been out for a couple of years now, but for a while the only version out was the Bluesmobile, the police car from the Blues Brothers movie, which was dirtied and banged up and had the entire rear windshield missing. On purpose, because it was like that in the movie. So I didn't like that, and I waited for a more stock-looking version, and they re-released one in white, in the Chicago police livery, which did look pretty nice, but the white hubcaps kinda had too much of a plastic look to them, and its price also skyrocketed because of the Blues Brothers association. But then they released this one, with the more classy-looking dog dish hubcaps, so I picked this one up. Now, this Gen 3 Monaco is a land yacht. I mean, it's a full-size Chrysler C-Body, and the last of its kind. Because when the oil crisis of 1973 hit the US automotive market, downsizing began everywhere, and Chrysler's brands Dodge and Plymouth, which made very similar looking cars, both decided to carry over the Dodge Monaco and Plymouth Fury names from these full-size C-body platforms to the slightly smaller sized B-body platforms for the Gen 4 that came after this one in the late 70s. And in turn, the previously existing B-body brand names were phased out. So what used to be the B-body Plymouth Satellite became the B-body Plymouth Fury 1975 onward, and what used to be the B-body Dodge Coronet became the B-body Dodge Monaco 1977 onward. Now, I don't have a 124 B-body 77 Monaco to put next to this C-body 75 Monaco to compare the size difference, but I do have a 77 Monaco in 143, which I will review at some point. The Gen 3 and Gen 4 Monacos back in the day saw extensive use as service vehicles, as taxis and police cars in the 1970s, and then as the 80s and 90s came about, Ford and Chevy took over with the Crown Victorias, the Caprices, and Impalas. So taking a look at the front of the 1975 Dodge Monaco, you can see that the front has these quad headlamps, and they have the silver frames, and the headlights, I guess they're okay. I mean, there's nothing special about them. They do have pegs in the middle, but considering that these are the classic 70s style headlights, you can pretend that the black dots are the bulbs, basically, in the center of the reflectors. So they don't look too bad. Of course, we have Dodge written at the front, and underneath the aforementioned grille, which I think is done really nicely because you've got a lot of shading to it, so it looks realistic. Now here in the front, this police car has a push bar, and the push bar is a little different to the Bluesmobile in that it doesn't have the bottom part. Like, there's just the attachment in the middle. There's no front license plate on this particular car. The Chicago Police white version had one to the left. We also get some separate plastic pieces for the fog lamps down here, although they're kind of hard to tell apart from the chrome bumper. Now, the hood can't be opened on this Greenlight 124, unfortunately, but don't get your hopes up on the Greenlight 118, because it's also sealed there. But what I can tell you is the standard 1975 Dodge Monaco came with a 360 cubic inch, that is to say, a 5.9-liter two-barrel carburetor, and had a top speed of 204 kph. And here's a look at the side of the 124 1975 Dodge Monaco. I mean, this is a pretty long car. And you can see that we actually get a badge of the Kansas Patrol Police Department, which I think is realistic. Behind the front wheels, it says Monaco, just like on the real car. And we have orange indicators on the front overhang as well as on the rear overhang. Now, taking a look at the wheels, you can see that these wheels have like blue rims to match the car body. So that's kind of weird. And I mean, I would have preferred black ones, but I guess they're okay. You can also see that we have these dog dishes. So you can't really see any discs or calipers, but I think these cars only had brake pads back in the day instead of discs, and the tires aren't branded or anything, but they get the job done, I think. As you may have noticed earlier, this car has full windows, even on the front doors, and that's actually a little bit of extra work I did by cutting out pieces of transparent plastic in the shape of these rather simple window frames, and then just fitting them in. The only issue my particular model has is that the frame on the driver's side window doesn't close snugly with the car body. As a 70s patrol vehicle, the police siren is a single beacon instead of a light bar, and it's nicely transparent and has a silver base. Taking a look at the back of the 124 1975 Dodge Monaco, I really like the back of this car. I think that the blue and white is a great color combo, and a white trunk looks really good on this one. It says Highway Patrol on the deck lid, and you have a keyhole in the middle and Dodge in silver lettering underneath. Now, from what I gather, on the Bluesmobile, the D in the middle was actually covered up by black, so it actually read Doge, which is funny. The taillights look pretty good, actually. They have this triple segment in the middle, just like on the real car. And the center part is also in silver. We have Kansas rear license plate. I think it's the Sunflower State. It says 579. And a really big rear bumper. We also get 2 exhausts at the back. Where's the gas cap? You'll notice there isn't any, and that's because on these land yachts, they used to be back here. This panel would flip down, and that's where you'd refill your tank. The one thing that bothers me is that there's like a pretty big panel gap here, although the trunk doesn't open on this model, so they could have minimized that. But I mean, it's not that big. And now let's take a look at the interior. But before we do, let's check out this door panel right here. You can see that a lot of detail went into this, even though it's completely black. You can actually see that we have a nice pattern on the top. And the window crank is colored in a separate piece. We also have like another button here. I don't know what it is. The Bluesmobile had a tan interior, which is something I normally prefer over black interiors, but they actually didn't use matching shades of tan for the seats compared to the dash and steering wheel, so the latter looked pretty cheap and plasticky as it was in a brighter shade of tan than the seats were, which is why I'm happy with the interior being all black on this one. The gear lever seems to be missing on this model. I don't think it broke off though. As you can see, it just wasn't modeled. The bench seats look rather plain. Here's a look at the back one. And now taking a look at the driver's side. You can see that behind the steering wheel, we have the instrument panel, and if I zoom in a little bit, you can even read the numbers. To the left, we have some silver knobs. The Chrysler logo is colored in compared to the white Chicago Police one, where it wasn't. And up here on the dash, there's also some vents. And here's another look at the seats. So overall, the interior is pretty good. And now taking a look at the bottom, you can see that this is car number 623. It says 1975 Dodge Monaco by Greenlight, 2016. So that's how old the mold is. I painted this exhaust system in silver because only this latter half was, or this latter third was painted. But I think if I painted everything, it would look better. So that's the reason why I did it. Tires are, as you can see, a little thinner compared to your usual tires, and that's because this is the 1970s. But yeah, I mean, overall, there's not a whole lot of detail, but it looks okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Greenlight's 1975 Dodge Monaco in 124. This is one of the few malaise-era barges in my 124 collection. If you want to check out more land yachts in 118, feel free to watch some of my other reviews here. And if you are looking for a more detailed Gen 3 Monaco, you might also want to check out KK Scale's sealed 118s, which have recently been released in a bunch of different colors. So there's something there for everyone. Take care. This is Imperial Diecast, signing out.